Hey, this is Eric from Catching Light.
Hey, this is Hemp.
Hey, this is Glenn.
Hi, I'm Steve-O.
Hey, this is Drew Hynes with Hindsight Imagery.
This is Matt Callahan at Digimatty Photographic Services.
Hey, this is Jason, and welcome to Tales from the Pit.
Hey guys, welcome to Tales from the Pit. My name's Eric. Thank you for joining us for episode 3. We're going to bring you behind the scenes tonight and show you some of our favorite shots from some of New Hampshire's finest concert photographers. Kicking things off tonight, we've got Steve Pouliot, who's got a fantastic shot here to kind of talk us through. Steve, why don't you go ahead and tell us about this? This thing looks just incredible.
Thanks, man. This is, we talked about trying to do our favorites. And to me, it's like trying to pick a favorite child after what's going to be 9 years of doing this. I kind of had to go through and pick, what do I really want to talk about? And this one was kind of a challenge that Eric Messier gave me. Eric and I both shoot Canon. A particular show, we were both walking in, same lens, 70 to 200, 2.8. So we were both walking in with the same lens. We both had same access. We had great access that night. And I kind of looked at Eric. I said, wait a minute, I'll be right back. And I grabbed my 400 that I had just got. It's a 100 to 400. And we were walking in, and Eric kind of laughed a little bit, and he said, I want eyeball. I want you to get me eyeball. And I just kind of looked at him like, dude, what are you talking about? Eric, do you remember?
I definitely vividly remember that night, actually. I was blown away by that 400 lens, and I was like, you got to get a nice shot, like very close up to the eyes, and you definitely did.
So if you've seen Paramore live at all, you know that Haley Williams is real high energy. She runs around, and if I'm Eric, we're what, 8-10 feet from her at that point?
Oh yeah, she moves around like an absolute maniac.
Right, so we're 8 to 10 feet, and I'm shooting with a 400. So when you look at this image here of her, that's not cropped. That's what I got straight out of the camera. We were right on top of her. My settings on that's stretched all the way out to 400 millimeter. ISO was 1250, 1/250th of a second at f/5.6. So I had that thing cranked up pretty good to get that exposure. Thrilled with this image. That particular year, that was on social media, that was my most liked image. People grabbed it, made line drawings of it, painted it, colored it in, tagged me in it, put it back out on the internet. The internet kind of took over with it for a number of hours. I wouldn't say days, but it was certainly that afternoon that I posted this thing. And again, it's like trying to have a favorite child. I got tons of images we could talk about, but this one in particular, it's a fun story, and it certainly was. Eric pushed me to get an image that I didn't think I could get, and if I had to do it again, I don't know if I could do it again, but I wouldn't have it without Eric saying, go for it. So that's my story on that one.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and seriously, it's so good. It's so good. Just the lighting's perfect, the sharpness of the eyes. You really captured a moment there, so well done for sure.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Extremely clean, too. There's no noise.
Yes.
Everything looks really crisp.
Thanks, fellas. I really appreciate it. I mean, you guys have all shot a lot. And, I got to tell you, it's intimidating to put something out here and go, I don't know, man. These guys are going to really bring some A-game pictures, and I need to have something nice. So I'm glad to hear you guys say that you liked it.
It's excellent.
Yeah, I like the teardrop, too, that you captured on her right cheek.
Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's a good
Super
picture,
clear.
Steve. Nice job.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
All right, our next photographer is going to be Glenn. Glenn, just taking a look at this image, man. What a heck of a moment you got there. Why don't you go ahead and just kind of talk us through what you were feeling and why you chose this one as one of your favorites.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. This was back in 2017, one of my first shows, I believe. And not knowing a whole lot that was going on, how to shoot concerts. I mean, I just went out there and basically just was looking for anything and everything. The lighting changes all the time, as we all know. I just happened to get lucky with this one. He's looking into the crowd, just getting into it. It was shot with a Nikon 750. Let's see, 70 to 200 f2.8. I had a teleconverter on that, so I got a little bit of, I think it was front of house at that point, ISO 4000. But if anybody's ever seen these guys, you'd know how good they really are and how much they get into their work. These guys are awesome. It was a lot of fun. The lighting in the back was incredible too. I think I had a star filter on it as well.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Also, too, I'm curious if you did it in post or if it was kind of just the perfectly timed photo. But in his guitar, to me, it almost looks like his hand's got just a nice beam of light on it, and it's almost like a vignette in a way.
No, actually, that was the raw photo. I mean, I obviously touched up in Lightroom, but that lighting hit it just perfectly. I didn't do that myself, no.
His expression is so, it's so priceless in the moment.
Exactly. Yeah.
Very clean shot too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, very, very clean. I got to say, so far, I mean, the theme, I think everybody would agree. It just, you're doing such a good job. It really just, you're pulling people in and you feel like you're right there in this show, and that's something that most folks don't really get that kind of perspective of. So to being able to pull people right in, that's incredible. Nice shot.
Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it.
All right, the next photographer to show off some work is going to be Eric Hemphill, who is actually older than Ansel Adams himself.
Close. Yeah, this is Halestorm. This was I only got some really close to the stage ones. All my other shots were always from front of the house, so I stuck my 1635 on and went really wide with it because I was like right underneath her and just held that camera up and was just basically looking at the screen on the back, just trying to get that in, and just that perfect shot there. And same things like Glenn had said too. I mean, I didn't do a lot to the lighting. They had great lighting for that show. I've got like 3 dozen really, really good ones like that. But I just like the layout of it because I had that at, I think, probably F7. I can't look at my settings right now, but I was running about the ISO 800, and I think my shutter speed is around 250. But yeah, she was all over the place too, and I missed it right after that one. She was like looking right down in the camera. It was just all of her face, and that's the one I wanted, but just missed it. But yeah, this one was a lot of fun. I love that show.
Yeah,
I shot that show with you too, and her intensity is just amazing.
Oh, all the shots, she's like getting into it, the singing, the screaming almost into the camera. You can feel it.
I really like your wide view of this shot too. It's so cool. It's almost like they're coming around you, basically.
Yeah, I was getting really into using that 1635 wide open. It really added to the shots.
You could capture some good emotion in her too. It looks like she came right down to you almost, and said, "Hey, I take my shot."
Yeah,
it was good capture.
Oh yeah, you're right in that kind of that sweet spot. You guys have all been there. You'll be on one side of the stage, and then all of a sudden, someone comes right down where your camera is, and you're like, "Oh, this is the one. This is the time right now."
Yeah.
So, and like what Jason said, you kind of, I don't know, you feel like you're face to face with them, which is, it's so cool. I love looking at these photos. Very cool.
Thanks.
Well, Lzzy's one of my favorites to shoot as well. She's a lot of fun.
Is she similar to Hale? I haven't seen that show live or not. Does she move around a lot, I'm guessing?
Well, she tends to be, Jason probably can tell me, he's probably shot her more than I have. She tends to be stuck to the microphone because she's singing. So she's playing and it has a mic stand that she's kind of a little bit more stationary as a lead singer.
Yeah, she's definitely tied to the mic, but she definitely also knows. She has her moments where she plays with the crowd. So when she's not singing or something, guitar solo or something like that, I got some pretty cool shots, where she's playing with the crowd and stuff like that too. So yeah, she's a performer.
Yeah.
Yeah, for people out there that have never shot concert photography, just keep in mind we're not using flashes at all, and some of the lighting can be really really throw you off. Like red light can be like the worst light to shoot in. I think
Red and blue, I can't stand it.
blue
Oh, that-
probably the
Yeah, it's funny you talk about that. That magenta that they all seem to love, that magenta wash. Oh, I hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah, we'll
I
talk
think
yellow
about
and
that.
green.
We'll talk
the
about
yellow
that
and
when
green
my photo
wash.
comes up.
Right? Yeah. Things we don't like. We'll say that for another episode.
Yeah, right. But
It's just black and white lighting.
This is right. This is a great shot. It looks like she's about to hit you in the head with that guitar.
Yeah, pretty much. She was close.
All right, we're gonna go over next to Jason. Jason, who started working with us most recently. I've done a couple shows with, and looking at this shot here, man, some pretty cool posts that went into this, and I don't know, I'll let you take it away, but this is very intriguing. Can't wait to hear the story on this one.
Hey, thanks. So this is Jason Hook from Five Finger Death Punch. So as we just talked about earlier with the different color lightings and how they can really affect the photo, this was actually in an all blue light. And I liked the angle and I liked the performance he was giving, but it was just washed in blue. So I just stripped out all of the lighting to black and white, and then I added the green to his guitar because his guitar is naturally green. So I just only allowed the green to come through, and that's why you see it the way it is. And the Gibson logo on his hand with the green lighting on that, I just saw that and I was like, oh man, this is such a perfect moment. This photo, so I'm shooting on a GH5 Micro Four Thirds, a Panasonic GH5. It's a Micro Four Thirds camera, and I'm using a 2.8. I think it's 100 and maybe 100 millimeter. I don't remember which length it was. Because I'm on a Micro Four Thirds lens, it crops a little more than your standard full frame lens, so I'm very limited in what I can do. You'll also notice that as I'm looking at this right now, I had made some modifications to this photo for printing purposes. So when I look at this, I had to sort of bring the shadows out of his face a little bit. I think maybe I did a little too much, but I had to bring the shadows out of his face a little bit because his face was all shadows. But overall, I think I really love the emotion and the moment in the shot. And this is probably my most popular shot that I've done. Jason Hook actually shared this shot, and it's got like almost 10,000 likes on it right now. I'm just like blown away about how many likes it's got and all the comments I got about this particular photo. So this is really the photo for me that sort of kind of gave me the confidence of, even if I'm looking at this photo and I see all the flaws, there's so many people like it and so many people have commented on it. It makes me feel like, okay, I'm not crazy. I think there's something there, and I think that this is a cool image, and having that feedback from everyone actually helps me build my confidence with that.
Yeah, that's
I got to
awesome,
tell
man.
you, Jason, if I don't mean to cut you off, Eric, I'm sorry. If I could kind of talk about when Jason posted this image that night. Jason was new to us, and me being the grizzled old veteran that I am, it's one of those things. I don't talk to the new guy. I don't want to know the new guy. I care if the new guy knows what he's doing or not. Blah 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 blah. Very jaded and a cranky old man sometimes. Jason posted this, and I went, "Damn, this guy knows what he's doing. This is freaking awesome." So good for you, buddy. That's got that much popularity on the internet. That's a
Thanks,
great
man.
shot.
I really appreciate it. Yeah. Well, it's really intimidating coming in. Beautiful. You guys have been doing this for ages, and just to get a lucky shot like this, I'm like, thank God I got this shot. But to see your guys work, like I think you said earlier, it's coming into you guys a seasoned, your stuff, your equipment, and me coming in just kind of winging it. I'm just, I'm proud that I did this, but also very, very intimidated by you guys.
But
I
I mean,
started working with you.
that image, there's no winging it on that image. You're pro. You know.
No,
Thanks, man.
that's definitely top notch.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
all started somewhere, Jason. We don't all have it down either, believe me.
Yeah, no, it's so good, man. And just like you said, you know, the glow, the green glow coming up underneath his hand, just illuminating that tattoo is sweet. And then the fretboard being so sharp too. It's awesome. Cool,
Thanks, man.
cool stuff. Good lighting.
Thanks. So, Eric, this is a beautiful shot. You want to tell us a little bit more about your shot?
Sure thing. Thanks, Jason. This was a couple seasons ago. This is Third Eye Blind. Selected this image I just think, kind of like I was talking about everybody else's that I saw, I think that you kind of feel the moment a little bit. You're separated from the background. You've got some interesting lighting going on. You've got the light, you know, on his face that's coming down, but then there's also a little bit of backlight coming in from, you know, under his arm, and it just, I think, makes a cool mix. There's a cool color. The pinks and the warm, I think, go with the dark shadows. And then just the double guitar is pretty sweet. I mean, that in of itself, I think, makes a pretty cool shot. So yeah, you got one hand on the guitar, one hand on the mic. I think this also would be kind of cool converted to black and white as well. But I think I just like really the lighting and the colors and the contrast of the shadows and stuff like that. That's kind of what I selected it for.
Yeah, it's an iconic rock and roll look. This is like that perfect rock and roll photo. What'd you shoot it with?
This is a 7200 Canon. The settings I couldn't tell you. I think I usually always run a 2.8 to 3.5, and ISO is generally always boosted up, probably around 3200. Yeah, I'd have to pull up the raw file, but it's generally always in those settings, and you kind of, like everybody else, you kind of just get that one. You know, you go through, you take like 100 photos of a band, and then you get that one or two, and you narrow it down. And you're like, oh, this one's kind of cool. You know, this one's pretty sweet. So,
yeah, I
yeah,
really
good.
like the color palette is fantastic. I love the look of it.
Bro, that is like album cover quality. That's their live album shot right there. That's beautiful.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate that.
Yeah, like the frets and everything are like crisp in there, and the coloring of them.
Thanks, Eric, man. That means a lot.
Good to go.
All right, we're going to check in right now with Matt Callahan. Matt's got a great picture here. What looks like Eric Church. Matt, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about this one?
Yeah, this was Eric Church back in the day. I think probably circa 2013, 2014. I just really enjoyed the shot because of the specific lighting and the expression on his face. And just that it conjures up some good memories of back in the day.
What would you take it on? What were you using?
A D90, I believe, a Nikon 90, and I was using a total manual lens, an old Nikon lens, one of my film cameras.
So you shot that with manual lens, manual focus?
So it's quite challenging.
Maddie, I love the colors. They're so warm. It just screams summertime.
It does. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a really cool shot.
Matt,
Did you say you took that with film? Was that a film camera? Did you say?
No, the lens was a manual film, manual
okay.
lens from a film camera.
Nice shot, man. I like the colors. Good capture.
Yeah, it's a great shot. It's really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a great shot.
Up next, we've got award-winning photographer Drew Hynes to talk about Snoop Dogg and what he was feeling when he took this shot.
Yeah, so this was the main act. And yeah, he was one of my first picks of this season just because of the pop culture icon he was. And I remember that it was me, and I believe Steve was there with me, and I want to say there was another photographer, and we were just kind of moving around each other in the pit. And at one point, Snoop just kind of looked at me and held his hand up kind of out in front towards my camera. He didn't cover his face, but just enough to like let me know that he was there. And what felt like an eternity, he held his hand there, and I just snapped away. I think I got maybe 6 or 7 photos of him just looking like this. But it was just a moment that I had with the artist, and it just stuck out for me that season. So, and I shot this with a Nikon D850, I believe.
The shot is so crisp and clean. You can see all the details and the microphone and everything. It's awesome.
Yeah, it worked out well. The shallow depth of field there works out where you get his hand out of focus, but his microphone and his face were kind of on the same focal plane. So those, you kind of draw your eye right to his face.
It almost makes you wonder what he was thinking.
Right, I think he was baked out of his gourd. He was ready
You
for
could smell the ganj that night.
Yeah, yeah,
That was my favorite show of that summer for sure. I had a lot of fun there.
yeah, absolutely.
Who else played with Snoop that night? Do you remember?
Ice-T.
Ice-T, yeah, and he was
Nice.
he was kind of dirty. Yeah, he was dirty. He was a
Filthy.
dirty old man. Yeah, filthy old man. That was a fun show.
Ice kept talking about OGs. That was kind of fun. Us old guys.
Right.
Gotta find some of those original gangsters, the OGs. I was dying. It was funny.
Yeah.
I like your coloring in this too. I mean, I really like the way it's colored.
Yeah.
Really,
He had
really nice editing.
the lighting was a little tricky, but there was points where he had that really nice front lighting that worked out well. So
Yeah, it's a great shot.
yeah, thanks.
Hey guys, and thanks for watching. If you have topics, shows, or questions you'd like us to talk about in future episodes, feel free to email us at nhconcertphotogs@gmail.com. And if you like the content you're seeing, please remember to like and subscribe. Until next time.